creating green deserts in the Sri Lankan wet zone. Sri Lanka is one of the 36 countries with the highest biodiversity. One of the main reasons for this reputation is the high endemic biodiversity in the country's rainforests. 90% of Sri Lanka's endemic species and 99% of those under a severe threat of extinction live in these rainforests. The existence of many microhabitats within the layered rainforests is one of the main reasons for this high biodiversity. Other factors such as topography, high rainfall, moderate temperature, high humidity have also contributed to the formation of many microhabitats. There are several types of rainforests in Sri Lanka. They are high montane rainforests, sub-montane rainforests, and wet lowland rainforests. Rainforests are key to the process of systematically absorbing the excess rainwater from southwest monsoon's winds. The above-mentioned factors are key to ensuring water security, agriculture, food sovereignty, people's livelihood, and economy of the wet zone. Unfortunately, we have lost most of our rainforests. There are only 196,573 hectares of these forests left, which are 3% of the total area of the country or 13% of the wet zone. Thus, Sri Lanka only has 0.011% of the remaining rainforests in the world. But the international community pays special attention to Sri Lanka's rainforests due to its biological, ecological, and social value. There are many reasons that have contributed to the destruction of most of the rainforests in the country. The main reason for the destruction of most of the rainforests is the massive expansion of tea cultivation. In addition to this, the expansion of human settlements and rubber and oil palm plantations have also had a major impact on the destruction of rainforests. Oil palm plantations have become a major contributor to the destruction of rainforests in recent times. The main reason is the high market demand for palm oil. Due to the massive destruction of the rainforests in the wet zone, many people are facing shortages of drinking water, increased flooding, as water sources have become shallower due to soil erosion and landslides. The dwindling forest cover has made the wet zone vulnerable to severe weather and climate changes, which has adversely affected agriculture. Tea cultivation, a major commercial cultivation, has also been adversely affected financially by these factors. Unfortunately, tea planters are responding to this by expanding their cultivation by clearing more rainforests. While newly cleared land is immensely fertile, soon the productivity collapses and the yield is reduced. In a vicious cycle, tea planters again destroy rainforests and expand tea plantations. Most people have not yet realized that this practice will only lead to the destruction of both rainforests and tea tea plantations. They have also not identified that this would have an adverse impact on the daily life of the people. Tea and oil palm plantations established by clearing rainforests can be called grain deserts. These commercial plantations are monocultures, and thus they are no layers which support microhabitats. Moreover, the excessive use of agrochemicals in these plantations lead to a collapse in biodiversity, another reason why we call them grain deserts. As more and more land are used for tea and oil palm plantations as commercial monocrops, the farmland that produces food for domestic consumption also drops. Declining productivity of tea plantations and fluctuating market prices are another major challenge faced by the sector. Moreover, planters also bear high costs on agrochemicals to increase the yield under the influence of agrochemical companies. Apart from that, those involved in such agricultural practices often suffer from chronic diseases due to the exposure to agrochemicals. Apart from people, biological communities that live in and around the rainforests have also been severely affected due to the expansion of tea and oil palm plantations into rainforests. Due to the expansion of tea and oil palm plantations, the rainforests have been severely fragmented. Instead of contiguous forests, only isolated forest blocks are left in the wet zone today. This has contributed greatly to the loss of biodiversity and extinction of species. The destruction of rainforests also means that nature's ability to systematically absorb the rain brought by southwest monsoon winds as groundwater has diminished. As a result, the people and biological communities living in the wet zone, which receives the most rainfall, are suffering from water crises. The solution for this multitude of crises is to stop the further expansion of tea plantations into forests and convert them into multi-cropped cultivations, and to end the expansion of oil palm cultivation. Commercial crops such as cinnamon, coffee, pepper, cardamom, cloves, betel nut, coconut, wallapatta or agawood can also be grown in the tea plantations, and multi-cropping will increase the income of the people and increase the productivity of the plantations. In addition to this, jackfruit, breadfruit, curry leaves, garcinia, soursop, banana, durian, vegetables, and greens can also be planted in and around the tea plantations to strengthen the food sovereignty of the people. The above techniques will help create layers of plants in tea plantations, transforming these grain deserts back into a fertile natural ecosystem. This will enhance the survival of biological community by creating a forest network. It will also increase water security by expanding water catchment areas. It will also help to control the adverse effects of weather and climate change. We must introduce organic nutrients and microorganisms to the soil, following the concepts of ecological farming to make the soil fertile again. This can reverse the adverse effects of agrochemicals on people and the biological community. Although small tea holders have shown a willingness to adopt concepts of ecological farming, large-scale companies and businessmen who own most tea plantations are not ready to accept this new paradigm. The government must step in and ensure that these green deserts do not expand. Otherwise, people and animals that live in the wet zone will be in serious trouble in the near future.